Hey guys, anybody here? If you're just tuned in, let me know where you're watching from. I've been just busy the last couple of minutes taking a trade. I just went long on gold. Let's see how we do there. Okay. Hmm. Sort of weird. Hmm. No, that's strange. Oh. Oh yeah. Okay. And I had my take profit at 51.50, and it's just hit the take profit. Hey, good morning, Howard. I was a little bit busy here the last few minutes. Just took a trade on this big move we had with gold. It was not based on my trend line strategy, but I was watching the 1 minute chart and I saw the good momentum on the opening of Singapore and Shanghai. And I took the trade. Let me see what price I got in at. 51.34. Let's put that on the chart here. 51.34. I got in there at 51.34 and I put my take profit at 51.50, and the take profit's all it's done. So not bad for the first 5 minutes today. A good start. And that was my take profit. Oh, there we go. $16, 160 pips in 5 minutes. With the opening of Singapore and Shanghai on this big candle here, I was watching the 1 minute chart and I saw a really big ass candle, a big momentum candle, and I went long at 51.34 right there, and then I had my take profit at 51.50, and that trade's all done. $16 profit, 160 pips in the first 5 minutes. Good start for the day. Now, I don't usually do something like that. That was an unusual trade for me. You guys know, you follow me. That was not my trend line strategy, but I've been getting some good results watching that 1 minute chart on opening sessions. You have to be careful because it will sometimes just shoot the wrong direction and then reverse real quick. And in fact, that's what it did. On the first 1 minute candle, it went way down, and you see the wick there, and then it started going up in the right direction. Big green candle, big momentum candle. So I took the trade. Big wick with a momentum candle, bullish. So I went long at 1 minute after that first candle on the second 1 minute candle. And now it's starting to reverse. That's okay. So now just relax. Okay, Raj, no problem. Yeah, I didn't have any. There were just a few, like a handful of people that came in. Nobody commenting in the U.S. session last night on my live YouTube, and very few people actually watched the recording. So I keep doing it this week. But if I don't get more followers on the New York session, I know everybody's busy with their trading, so um, maybe it's not a good live session to have. I like this session because you guys come in and you comment and we chat a little bit sometimes. Sometimes it's pretty good, but I don't like sitting here just talking to myself. That's what I do in the New York session. Yeah, I'm doing Kick even right now. I'm streaming on Kick every day. Every time I stream, it's also on Kick. I stream on YouTube. What's this other one I've got? On Kick and also on TikTok. The one on TikTok is not working very well. I got to set up the studio. Apparently, I need the TikTok studio to be doing live streams on there. But it's broadcasting on Kick every time. I go back and have a look, and yeah, the video's there. And my ID is the same, Rick Ray FX. Maybe I need to go in and see how I can promote it more or do something there. Earl Grey. How did you know it was tea, Sean? It could have been coffee. It's Earl Grey. So let's get back to the chart here, chatting away. Really good looking bullish for the start of the day. Yesterday was really weird. You guys were here. What a strange start to the day yesterday, Monday. Look at that. Just dropped like $80 before, before the Singapore market even opened. And then we had that liquidity sweep here with the opening of Singapore, Shanghai, that liquidity sweep, and then it did really good, went up for several hours. And London didn't do very much with it. And then the New York session opened right here on this bearish candle. And then they changed their minds and they went bullish for a while and they changed their minds again and went bearish. And then the closing session was bullish. The closing of the New York session was bullish. So we're back up to 51.42 right now. Very volatile this first 15-minute candle. Made a big jump up and then it's come back down again. We're trading at 51.41 right now. And those two white lines there, that's where I took my long trade. Uh, on the 2 minutes after this opened, it came down, formed a wick, rejected that level there, and then started to go up. So I took that trade right here. This was my entry point. And in the first 5 minutes, I just very quickly I put the take profit at 51.50, and it came right up there and hit that. So that trade is done. And now I'll just go back to bed. No, I won't go back to bed. I have another class with my client from Chicago in about 45 minutes. So what can we expect today? Well, I kind of think we're going to be looking at some more sideways trading in a range. Kind of hard to see on the 15-minute chart. Let's look at the 4-hour chart. Yeah, pretty easy to see the range on this 4-hour chart. Broke a little bit above here. This was a very strong support level right in here, remember, a couple weeks ago. Then we had that blast up. Didn't stay up there very long, fell down really hard, and just forming a new price structure. We're right in this zone here, a little bit above that previous support level, and now we've got this support level here. So it's in this zone, and I think we might get this for maybe a few more days, at least until Wednesday. That's tomorrow, and we have remember the CPI data is coming out. That's the inflation data on the U.S. economy, and then we might get some crazy moves. Maybe, maybe not. We can't predict that, but right now we're just forming this new structure here in this price zone between 50.5066 and 5162, about $100 range there. This new price structure. So it might come up here and hit this uh, resistance zone where it was. It's been several days, last week. Might come up there, maybe touch a little bit above that, maybe not, and then come back during the day. Let's see how this plays out. Looking bullish right now. Oh yeah, I wanted to show you the oil. What is going on with oil? It's crazy. Yesterday it made this massive move up to $114, and then in the same day, it's come back to where it was before. I mean, last week. It said last week's prices. In fact, if you look on the day chart, let's say that. Go to the day chart if we can. Yeah, daily. And that's gold. And put the oil. Look at that. That's yesterday on oil. What in the world? I thought, okay, we hit 115, then we're going to 120, 130. I'm not following the war in the Middle East, so, hour by hour, but obviously something's changed that the price of oil would have come back down, and now it's even, look how it's dropped today. It's just today's candle. Now we're back down to $83. That's really strange. Anybody have any thoughts on that? Go back to our gold chart. Yeah, 30% up and 30% down. Uh, who has plenty in storage? The U.S. or the European Union? Okay. Well, I mean, you have some in storage, but they're blowing everything up over there, and pretty soon the storage will run out. So you'd think the price would stay high until the war uh, calms down a little bit, or things stabilize, or de-escalate, or whatever. Okay, so there must have been some news come out, and the G7 said they have plenty of oil. Don't worry about it. Okay, I didn't see that. I just see the candlestick. I just saw the change in the price. Up 30%, down 30%. Really weird. Oh, so all this talking, all of a sudden we're on our second 15-minute candle and still very bullish. A good a good bullish start with the Singapore Shanghai market. So our resistance zone is around 5160 on the 4-hour chart, around 5160, 5162 in that. Let's see if it'll go up there. It looks like it's pretty strongly bullish. It's already gone past my take profit. I could have held on to that for a while, but it was good. Wow, look at this. Anybody got a trade on gold right now? Anybody doing anything? Are you long? Surely you're not short. Okay, they're meeting today to discuss reserves. All right. I didn't look at that link that you posted in the group yesterday yet, Raj. Something about following the news and various things. I'll have a look at that today. Thanks for posting that, by the way. Hmm. Wow, strongly bullish. Wow, I could have held on to that. Look at that. Amazing. But I was so happy with it. Was, I was looking at the 1 minute chart and it was a scalping trade, um, in and out. It was 5 minutes done. I didn't even, it was just so quick. I didn't even consider to hold it for duration. But I'm not going to chase this candle here. We're getting up to that resistance zone on the 4-hour chart. See if we can put this, move that out of the way. That was our resistance yesterday, and get this one gone. So day before yesterday, this is Friday. So we had resistance there, we had resistance there, we had resistance here. So that's a strong zone there. That's 5170 is where it might go. 5170 looks like the next level. I don't know what it is on my, This pivots indicator that I use on TradingView, need to put in that resistance level there, resistance 1. Let's see what that gives us. 52.20, according to this indicator. 52.20, but I think we'll have resistance before we get up there. Okay, let's get back to there we are. So guys, my question again, does anybody have a trade open on gold? Howard, Sean, Raj, anybody else that's watching? Anybody have a trade open on gold? Edge Fool. No, I haven't heard of Edge Fool. New tool you're testing. No idea what that is. Edge Fool. Okay, wait for the retest. That's always a good idea sometimes. Edgefool, edgefool.com. Data-driven trading. Trade with data, not your emotions. Technical analysis made simple, the only tool you need to become consistent. I love this, the only tool you need. We instantly give you an edge so you can focus on high probability setups. It's the holy grail. Yeah. Okay. Looks interesting. Personal financial analyst, simplifying market data into actionable reports. Instantly see how any stock behaves, even down to specific weekdays, and find high probability setups in seconds. Okay, let me know how you go with that, Raj. Yeah, I'm just joking. I know a lot of things promote themselves as being this is the only indicator you'll ever need. This is the only strategy you'll ever need. This is the one you've been looking for 10 years. It's just a marketing technique. That's all I know. So getting a little bit of a pullback. It did come up to our zone here, our resistance zone from the previous back here from Friday last week. So it's come up there and touched that, and now starting to fall back down. Yesterday, I had a client from India. He's here in Thailand for a few days holiday. Met up with him to get him sorted out. I don't know if you guys have ever been to India. It's a it's a different world over there. So many people, 1.4 billion people. Can you imagine the population you have in New Zealand? It's like 100 times that or more. 1.4 billion people. There's just like People everywhere. I've been there 5 or 6 times in Mumbai, Bangalore, New Delhi, just masses of people everywhere you go. So just adjust this trend line just a little bit there. Okay. Yeah, now it's getting a good pullback here. Hmm. I just reading, saw an article on CNN on the internet. I check them every day for the headlines, and it seems like a lot of people are leaving New Zealand. They're immigrating out of the country because it's very expensive there. Is that true? Even the former prime minister, she's gone. I think she moved to Sydney. I don't know why. Australia is not cheap. It must be very expensive in New Zealand if you move to Australia for something that's more affordable. So we have no high impact news today. Nothing coming out today. It's just tomorrow. We need to be watching the CPI data. Very, very important. Inflation data is really important. It could have a big impact. As it's fairly new data, we might not see much change. You know, they're expecting inflation to increase because of the war in the Middle East, but there's still, you know, that data will come out like in another month, 2 months, 3 months. So this data that comes out tomorrow might not reflect the current situation. You just have to wait and see. All of our metals are down: platinum, copper, silver. What's the Dow Jones doing? I haven't checked that today. Oh, it closed pretty high. Oh, strange. It's been making a huge drop over the last since the war. You know, this is all because of the war, but it closed pretty strong yesterday. I wonder why that is. I don't trade stocks. I don't even generally look at them very often. And then the S&P 500. Oh, that's sorry, that's DXY. Where's the S&P 500? There we go. Oh, S&P 500 up. Started off the day very low, but that's up today. I guess this is today. I'm not sure. No, this market's not open yet. This is the close from yesterday. Yeah. So the S&P 500 up yesterday and the Dow is up yesterday with the close of the New York session. Interesting. This was way past my bedtime, so I don't know what happened. And then the DXY, oh, US dollar coming down yesterday. Things starting to see a correction, a retracement on some of these things. The US dollar almost got up to 100, and of course that's a strong psychological zone where it got up to nearly 99.7. Now starting to fall back down, correct itself. And here we go with continuing retest or correction on gold. Howard, what do you mean? Australia is not big. What do you mean? Australia is not big. Australia is big. It's a big country. It's a small population. Geographically, it's the same size as the United States, but population-wise, very small. I think you have 2 million people now, something like that. That's about the same population as Seoul, South Korea, the capital city. And actually, it's a smaller population than Tokyo. I think Tokyo has about 25 million. Australia has 22 million in the whole country. Great place, Australia. I really like Australia. I lived there for 5 years, mostly up in North Queensland, in Cairns. Although I've been to Sydney, Melbourne, I've been to Hobart, uh, Darwin. Only place I didn't go was South Australia and Western Australia. But I really like Australia. It's a really cool place and very, very big. I hitchhiked across the outback from Townsville to Darwin. It took me 7 days to get across hitchhiking. There's not very many cars going across there. Mm. So we did our retest, came back down, touched that trend line, and now it's going back up. So did anybody take a trade yet on gold today? I got my one long trade in on this very first candle, so I'm done for this morning session. Not looking to get in for another trade because I really do expect that we're going to be seeing some sideways movement, some range trading. And this is kind of a resistance zone here. We could break well above that. We could start to move above that, but I don't know. I'm happy with what I've done already today. I'm not greedy, and I will come back in the London session and have a look and see what's going on. I usually don't take any trades, but I like to look at the charts and see what the situation is, and then I'll try and get a trade in the New York session. I didn't do anything in New York yesterday. This is the first candle. I didn't do anything in the New York session last night. I didn't take any trade at all. I was watching it, but didn't see much going on. There certainly was no liquidity sweep. We had the liquidity sweep in the Asian session. This was a great one. This was a great move here. An obvious liquidity sweep, and then a good move up. But then in the New York session, I didn't see too much going on, so I didn't take a trade. Okay, you finally got in, Raj. Good. Oh, excellent. Okay, yeah, you'll still be awake for the London session. That's cool. I know it's too late for you guys for even they went to daylight savings time. It's only 1 hour earlier, so but it's still very late for you guys. Oh, I said Australia is not very big. No, I must have misspoke. I know Australia is huge, it's massive. I must have misspoke, Howard. What I meant to say is, why would New Zealanders move to, if they think New Zealand is expensive, why would they move to Australia? Australia is not cheap. I think Australia is expensive. That's what I meant to say. But New Zealand must be really expensive if they're going to, move to Australia to find something more affordable. Oh yeah, they're both everywhere's expensive compared to Southeast Asia. Thailand is still very affordable. Vietnam is slightly cheaper than Thailand. Cambodia is cheaper still. And Nepal, where I went last month, is incredibly cheap, just unbelievably cheap. I could not believe it. It's one of the top five cheapest countries in the world, Nepal. People from Nepal, they come to Thailand and they think Thailand's expensive. Yesterday I went to the mall and I had lunch in the mall. Cost me $1.50. I don't know what you get for $1.50 in New Zealand or Australia. Not very much, I don't think. So you took that trade on the retest of the trend line. That's good. And you're in profit now. A little bit of profit. Good. But yeah, I'm staying with the bias that we're going to be range trading here sideways probably most of the day and maybe until the news comes out tomorrow on the inflation data. I don't expect any big moves today, mostly sideways. Of course, the market could prove me wrong and just take off like a ballistic missile, but not likely. Moving back to the mainland. Yeah. Oh, this is yeah, okay. Just looking back at yesterday. Okay, guys, I'm going to have to sign off here. I have my student from Chicago in about 15 minutes, and that will be a Zoom session. So I need to have something to eat right quick, and before that gets started, and prepare myself for that session. So thanks for being here. Thanks for all the comments. It's been a great session. I wish you all the best with your trading today. And if you're still around for the opening of London, which is in 6 hours from now, I'll see you again. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. I'll be here tomorrow. Yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate it. Don't forget to click that like button, and I'll see you again next time. Have a great day.